Okay, so I got my starter. I ended up picking up a PowerMaster starter. This is actually recommended by American racing headers. Reason being is the stock starter, though it'll fit, it's really close to the headers. So I wanted to get something that's gonna have plenty of clearance and install well. So one thing to note, I bought this starter mount bolt pack because I wasn't sure if this came with the bolts, and guess what? I opened it up and came with a set of bolts and shims. So if you get one of these PowerMaster starters, it's probably going to come with the bolts. So, story of my life. So I got an extra set of bolts. So this model that I got is the 9526, and let's get this taken out for you guys so you can look at it here. Got that little shim there. So what's cool about this starter, not only is it small, little mini starter here, but it also it's adjustable, so you could move this around and clock it different ways, you know, depending on how your setup is. It's a very torquey motor. It handles high horsepower motors as well, so pretty nice looking piece here. And one thing I noticed too is it looks like the battery cable and everything bolts up right here on the side, which is pretty handy. Typically it's on the solenoid, and it's very difficult to get to. Actually, this is a solenoid, I believe, right here, but usually where you wire up the battery, it's real. So I ended up ordering some battery cables. I got the manufacturer is M&H, and they make Replica, basically identical to the factory cabling, battery cables, also wire harnesses and all that. So I'm going to be using their wire harnesses as well when I get to wire the car up. But I ordered their battery cables, so those are coming in the mail. So just wanted to show you guys a starter. I'm going to get this thing bolted up, and I'll give you a little close-up of it. So that's what the starter looks like there. Pretty nice looking unit. I'm going to get it all bolted up and see how it looks. So that's what the starter looks like. Mounted up pretty good. So now I'm going to get the battery cable installed on that as well. All right, so I ended up picking up a battery cable, a set of battery cables I should say, for my build. These are they're factory replica battery cables. Actually, I only have the positive. I'm waiting for the negative any day now, so it came in a separate shipment. But these cables are actually factory replicas. It has like a little sleeve on it, but it's a little sticky. It's got like some tar stuff on it. So so this is what it looks like basically. It's made basically to the factory specs. M&H makes the cable, and you basically can get it from different suppliers. And I also ended up getting this little terminal block that goes on the radiator core support, and it goes basically right under the battery tray, and then this right here will screw right onto it. And there may be some other wires when I get the wire harness on it that go to it, but it's basically for some additional power needed for accessories. And I also ended up ordering the nut and bolt accessory kit for it. It's called battery cables and clamp, basically. So this will help me get everything taken care of, because the car did not have any battery cables, didn't have a starter on it when I bought it. It didn't have a lot of stuff. So thankfully, there's companies out there that make the factory replica things, and also the nuts and bolts and everything. So I'm going to get this put on, and we'll get you some. One other thing that I wanted to mention is I ended up picking up a Radiator overflow hose. And one thing about the Monte Carlo, it did not come with an overflow tank. So it just has a regular hose that just goes straight down the radiator, and it just drips, overflow just drips in the ground. So I actually had somebody ask me recently, you know, about that, where they could get a hold of a radiator overflow tank, and I explained to them that the Monte Carlo didn't have one. So anyways, there's another solution if you're looking for an overflow tank. The Chevy Nova overflow tank actually works pretty well. It tucks under the fender, so just do a little bit of research on that. But I'm just going to kind of go with the factory here, and let's let it flow on the ground. Oh, also, I got a little clip here, so the hose goes into the radiator cap area there, and then this clips on the radiator to kind of hold the hose, so the hose just goes straight down. So there we go. Okay, I am going to do some additional reinforcement on this fan shroud that I did some plastic welding on in my last video. I was really thinking about it. You know, there's going to be a lot of vibration, you know, in the car and the engine, and just a regular plastic weld is probably going to crack and bust. So the kit comes with this wire mesh stuff here. So what I did is I cut a little piece out, and what you do is you heat it up with the plastic welder, and it'll basically embed it into the plastic. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now so you guys can see. Okay, so you just set the iron on there, and you just, whoop, hold on a second, I want to get it positioned really good. So yeah, we'll do that. So kind of just set it there for a minute. And as it gets hot, it's going to embed into the plastic. You see that? So you just kind of evenly press down on it and let it just heat up and get in there. So you basically, you want to bury it inside of the plastic is what you want to do. Okay, get this edge right here. See that? And I also pressure washed this shroud as well, and because somebody had painted it, which is probably fine, but you could, the paint job was probably done a long time ago. So I blasted most of the paint off of it, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm just going to keep it natural, or if I should go ahead and paint it again. So that's kind of my little dilemma right now that I'm trying to work through, basically. So there we go. It's all meshed in there. So we just want to let that dry, obviously. Tell me what you guys think. I think it's pretty cool, if you ask me. Get this back down. And I'm going to do the other end too, but I just wanted you guys just to get an idea of what else to do to reinforce that plastic weld. Alrighty, and this is what the positive battery cable looks like. I'm going to come in close here so you can see. There's a little clip that mounts on the motor mount that fastens the positive battery cable. I'm having an issue right now. The screw that goes in is not lining up with the hole, so that's another issue I got to try to figure out. Again, this is the things you deal with aftermarket parts. So let me kind of make my way down here. You can see that goopy gog stuff from this jacket here that's on the cable. I think that's like a heat resistant jacket. But let me show you here. You can see the cable. You can see it's fastened to the terminal block there that I was showed you guys, so you can get an idea. And that's basically, I think it's going to be hidden once the battery tray is installed. So that'll be another episode, but just wanted you guys just to kind of get an idea of the whole overview of that, how that cable mounts. Thanks for watching.